For the last week, I have been on a bicycle. I rode 545 miles from San Francisco to Los Angeles on the AIDS Lifecycle ride. When I arrived in San Francisco, I punched into my little phone the Cow Palace, and I'm thinking, what's the Cow Palace and where am I going in this town? It's kind of a country western venue in the middle of San Francisco, and it's big enough to accommodate thousands of people embarking on this journey. And I had no idea it was going to be this big. There's this great energy. There's so many people wheeling their bikes in, music's pumping up. There were people with crazy wigs, people in costume. The energy is infectious.
When I met Evan about a year ago and found out that he was an avid cyclist, as I got to know him better, I thought to myself, hey, this would be a great thing for Evan to do, and we both have that same feeling of responsibility to our community. And we formed Team Darling. Every rider has to meet a minimum fundraising goal. Evan was going to ride, and then I was going to take charge of the fundraising arm because I'm not an athlete.
There's a number attached to my bike. The competitive juices get flowing, and that's actually part of the whole thing for me, is being competitive with myself and being able to say, okay, I can conquer this, I can beat this. And that's the same thing that people are doing with their lives. They're fighting for their lives with this illness, and they need that motivation. They need people like us to go do this kind of stuff so they can beat this illness. My personal motivation for doing this ride is I have lost so many friends through the years. I have been so affected by this illness. And there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hurt that comes from this disease. And for me to be able to go out there and be physically able to help a community that needs it so much, that is still, in this day and age, being pushed aside and pushed down, there's no reason for that. For me to be able to go out there and raise money and bring awareness to this cause is enough motivation for me to just shoot out of town and get on the Pacific Coast Highway and start our journey. I'm ready to get on the bike and ride. The AIDS Lifecycle is a ride. It's really not a race. But when you get a bunch of guys together, and girls, you put numbers on them. There's people waving all kinds of flags, and you have a start line and a finish line. There's always going to be a competitive edge to everything, and people want to not necessarily race each other. It's more about being a personal best and pushing yourself to see how far you can go. When you do the ride, you end up falling into a group of people that are equivalent speed. They push you, you push them, your personalities, and I fell into a great group of guys. When you arrive in the camp at night or in the afternoon, this is a camp of more than 3,000 people that they lift up in the morning and transport and reset up. You arrive in the camp and then you have to go get your bags from the gear trailer. You have to get your tent, you have to find your tent spot, which is all marked out for you. You have to set up your tent, then you have to take a shower, then you have to hydrate, eat a couple of dinners because you're burning thousands and thousands of calories. And in between that, you're socializing, and it's pretty amazing. It becomes this really fun party on the road where people get dressed up in costume, they wear crazy outfits. You wouldn't believe the stuff that you see out there, and it is just so much fun. The energy level is through the roof.
Evan's arriving at the finish line for AIDS Lifecycle from San Francisco. I'm very excited. He should be at the front of the pack, so I think any time now. I haven't seen him yet, but we're real anxious to have him show up.
Happy AIDS Lifecycle.
made it.
Good to see you.
Wow, that was 545 miles. When I finally made it into LA after 7 days, it was just absolutely amazing to see everybody. It really brings up something emotional inside of you. When you do something that profound, it really moves you. You really feel it. It was just an amazing feeling to finally make it to the destination.
When he rode across that finish line, I was so proud of him.
We set a small goal of $3,500, which is more than the required amount.
We were able to exceed our goal by $96.
All of the riders, roadies, and people in the AIDS Lifecycle ride were able to raise over $15 million to help all the people that really desperately need it.
For me, the finish line is really just the epitome of Evan and I achieving a common goal together. It was a win-win for both of us. We really had a good time with it.
It was amazing. I mean, we had so much fun.
You know, the Darlings have done something good for the world.